Hello there YouTube. Something curious arrived in the mail the other day. This chappie. This is Universe Classics Galvatron. And for anyone who's been a Transformers fan for any particular length of time, that name should have some quite significant resonance. Galvatron originally appeared in the 1986 animated movie, and he was the reformatted Megatron. After the failed attack on Autobot City on Earth, Megatron is left pretty much crippled, and Optimus Prime is left dead. Yay. Shame he didn't stay there, eh? But whilst the Decepticons are retreating back to Cybertron, Starscream decides to take advantage of his condition and dumps him out into space. Where he's found floating around by a being called Unicron. And Unicron is the consistent big bad guy. He is the nemesis of the Transformers universe. He is the ultimate force of anti-creation. And he manifests in the movie as a huge planet, a metallic planet akin to Cybertron. It's metallic, but it's sentient. It floats through the universe, eating other planets and extinguishing stars and all sorts of interesting things, and it's on its way to Cybertron. But it can't attack Cybertron because the Matrix, the Autobot Matrix of leadership, is the one thing, as it says, that it's the only thing that can stand in its way. So it needs heralds to go out there and either destroy the Matrix or bring it back so that it can't be used to harm him. And he strikes up a deal with Megatron. He will recreate him, give him new troops to command, and put him back in command of the Decepticons if he goes out and grabs the Matrix for him, which of course Megatron, after a wee bit of coercing, agrees to. And he is eventually reformatted into Galvatron, who is sort of Megatron to the power of N. He's Megatron multiplied many times. He is incredibly powerful. Every fibre of his being burns with the power of Unicron, apparently, according to his blurb. Unfortunately, following the movie, and owing to a number of rather significant traumas that he suffers throughout, he goes crazy. He goes batshit insane, and then spends the subsequent seasons beating up his own troops, saying "blah" a lot, and shooting things at random. Yeah, he's pretty much a comic character in the third season of Transformers Generation 1. He is not the nemesis that Megatron was at all. I mean, Megatron was portrayed as pretty incompetent for the most part in the season 1 and 2. But Galvatron, compared to Galvatron, he's a saint. You know, compared to Galvatron, Megatron is he makes Megatron look sane and competent. That's the most you can say about the cartoon incarnation of Galvatron. Now this is a curious little oddity, because unlike most of the universe representations of classic characters, this isn't a recreation of how Galvatron originally appeared in his toy form, or even as he appeared in the cartoon. The original Galvatron was he transformed into a big mobile cannon that wasn't terribly convincing, and as you can see, this transforms into a tank. It's sort of like, I like to think it's how Galvatron maybe would have appeared if the season had gone on and he'd been continually upgraded and reformatted. It's got that air about it, and it's an odd little thing. I find it very infuriating, this toy. I find it infuriating on a number of levels. There are elements of it that are wonderful. It's beautifully detailed. It's very coherent in this mode. It looks stunning in its robot mode, and the articulation in both modes is wonderful. The tank turret will go around, and you can actually unlock it so that the gun points all over the place. But it has some truly baffling design flaws, and they are myriad, they're manifold. There are loads of problems with this toy, most of which manifest in the robot mode. In this mode, not many really. It's really good. It's as I said, it's fantastically detailed and coherent. There is no kibble whatsoever. There is hardly any indication that this is a Transformer in this mode. It could just easily be a model or toy tank of some sort. It does have a firing missile, or to be more accurate, it did have a firing missile. It fired off whilst I was transforming it for the first time, and it hit me in the bloody teeth. So I threw it away in temper. I dislike firing missiles. intensely. It's around this room somewhere. I just chucked it somewhere, and I'm not going to bother finding it. It doesn't need a firing missile. I don't want it. Yeah, you can definitely, if you turn it upside down, you can definitely see all of the robot bits underneath. But most of its problems manifest in robot mode, which I will show you now. Oh, also, there's another thing. It's tiny. It's minuscule. It's a deluxe class, and even for a deluxe class, it is really small. And it's even worse in robot mode. It is in no way to scale to any of the other Classics line Transformers. If you even put him next to characters like his Lieutenant, Cyclonus, he looks so small. He's out of scale. His head is out of scale. He just doesn't look right. And I find that baffling about the Classics line in general. There are these reasonably obscure characters like Onslaught and Silverbolt that are turned into Voyager classes and you know, even Supreme classes, and then you've got the significant characters like Galvatron and Optimus Prime and Megatron. These ending up as little more than deluxes. It's just it's odd. I would dearly love to see a Voyager or Mega class of this, and I think a lot of its problems would be fixed by that as well. Anyway, on to the, oh god, the transformation. I'm just going to pause the transformation here for a second, just so you can see how many bits have fallen off whilst I've been trying to transform it. There's the torso, looking like it's been dismembered, looking like he's had a bit of a go with Predaking or someone like that, and they've just pulled him to bits. There's one of his arms, there's a bit off his back, there's his other arm, and we're not done yet, so off we go again, and hopefully we'll get him finished without anything else falling off! Good God, oh, that was painful. You know, I don't even like transforming him. It's so difficult to do it without everything falling off of him. I don't like doing it. I know that at one point one of the little clips that holds his arm in, or the ball joint or something, is going to break because they're so minute, they're so fine, and yet they require a certain amount of pressure in order to transform him. He looks great. I mean, there is no denying it. There are lots of design features that carry over from how Galvatron used to look in the Generation 1 cartoon. He's got the distinctive purple crown, for example. He's got this this chest piece here, which is very reminiscent of Gen 1 Galvatron. He's also has much more of the Gen 1 Galvatron colours in this mode. That lovely deep purple with the red details and lovely orange light piping for the eyes. And he's a stunning looking robot mode. He looks a lot better than Gen 1 Galvatron ever did, to be quite honest. I also like the fact that owing to the turret of the tank forming this arm, he's asymmetrical, which actually, it wouldn't usually work. It doesn't work for most of the Beast Wars Transformers that are asymmetrical, for example, but for him it really does. He looks stunning. I also like the little claw he's got here. This hand is open, it's a claw for some reason, whereas this one is a fist. And he's very poseable. That is, if you can actually move his arms and his legs and whatnot without them bloody falling off. So it's difficult to know what to say about this toy. It's other than that it's bloody infuriating. It looks amazing in both modes. I mean, this robot mode in particular I think is wonderful. It could have benefited so much from being bigger. If it were bigger and the ball joints and the little the pin that holds this bloody arm on, it comes off all the time. All you have to do is move it and the pin comes out, and then it is nightmarish to get back in. And I know that one day it's going to snap, and that's going to be the end of this toy, which is annoying considering just how wonderful it looks. It is the quintessential Galvatron in many respects. It is better than any of the other Galvatron toys that have gone before, with the possible exception of Beast Wars 2 Galvatron. I like him a lot. He's a fantastic toy. But as representations of the Generation 1 continuity Galvatrons go, this is the best toy. It's just, it's a flawed jewel. in many respects it is brilliant. It's quite amazing, and in others it's lamentable. It's difficult to know what else to say about it. If you can forgive its many glaring flaws, if you don't mind the fact that its arms come off every time you try to move them, and that you have to dismantle the bloody thing in order to transform it, and if you can get over the fact that you're not going to be able to use this in interaction with your other classic line transformers because it's not to scale with them, then it's recommended. However, if you can't get over those elements, if you demand perfection or even a certain degree of competence from your Transformer toys, then I'd steer well clear of it.